in no way am I happy about this postseason bracket. Let's look to the National League and find out why. The Cubs missed the playoffs. The Diamondbacks, the team that really caused us to fall into this downward spiral to miss the playoffs, Marlins just kicked us straight in the balls the last two times that they were in the playoffs. And the only reason why they're not this time around is because they were, again, a reason why we got kicked out of the playoffs. Brewers are a division rival. I just feel like the Dodgers and Braves win too much. And I don't like the idea of having to for the Phillies, but I don't really think there's a choice. Heading into it, Braves finishes off 104-58, best record in baseball. Dodgers also joined the 100-win club, going 162. Brewers are a third seed, going 92-70. Phillies are 90-72. Marlins get the 5 seed, going 84-77. Diamondbacks are 84-78. Because the Miami Marlins control the tiebreaker over the Diamondbacks, I'll actually pull that up. As you can see, the Marlins took 4 out of the 6 games against Arizona. Because of that, the game against the Mets will not need to be played. 84-78, and the Marlins still come out above the Diamondbacks because of the tiebreaker. It's actually not really common that a wild card team gets 84 wins. Usually a team that's 84-78 making the postseason is a division winner who happened to win a weak division, which we actually almost saw this year with the Twins, but the Twins were able to really buckle down towards the end of the season and put themselves in a much better position. I know there were years in which the team was 85-77 and made the postseason as a wild card. 84-78, that might be unprecedented, but I would have to do some more research. That win percentage, again, .519, which I knew from the get-go was going to be a playoff winning percentage. I just was hoping that it would be the Cubs in that position, but they weren't. They were 83-79, and because they don't have either tiebreaker, they were really 2 games out of it. The Reds had tiebreakers, but they fell to 82-80. Padres, they finished off also at 82-80, so even though they had a heartbreaking miss in the playoffs, they did have a winning season. So in the National League, we actually had 9 teams finish out with winning seasons. The losers, Mets were 74-87, Nationals were 71-91, Pirates were 76-86, Cardinals were 71-91, Giants, they had a big collapse at the end of the season, causing them to go 79-83 despite being playoff contenders for most of the season. Rockies won 59-103 because, of course, they did. In the American League, with the Orioles taking the top spot, 101-61, our third 100-win team. It's quite uncommon to get 3 teams all with over 100 wins, although last year we had 4: Braves, Mets, Astros, and Dodgers. And speaking of the Astros, even with just 90 wins, they get the 2 seed and a bye. I'm very unhappy about this. If we look at the Astros versus Rangers games of 2023, this isn't all of them. You can just see 9-4 record against the Rangers. They control the tiebreaker over the Rangers. Hence, the Rangers are 90-72, and they're going to get dropped down to the 5 seed. And it's really all their fault because they got shut out the last game against the Mariners, a team who was already eliminated from the playoffs. And because of that, the Astros, who are really the villains, now have a much higher chance of making it to the American League Championship Series. And they did much worse than the Rays. The Rays finished 99-63. But again, divisions, they matter in baseball. They don't matter in basketball, but they matter in baseball. And again, that drops the Rangers down to the 5 seed. Blue Jays get the 6 seed, 89-73. I want you to notice that the Twins are 87-75, and they float into the 3 seed. It's very unfair. But that's just the way the divisions have set themselves up this year. The Mariners, they're 88-74, and they miss the postseason. And the Twins are 87-75, and they make it. So when you think about fairness in the National League, everything was perfectly fair. 1 to 6 each got their respective seeds they deserved. In this case, Orioles should be 1. Rays should be 2. Astros should be 3. Rangers should be 4. Blue Jays should be 5. And Mariners should be 6. But instead, we see this playoff landscape. That being said, .537 is a lot better than what I thought the Twins were going to get. I thought that the Twins might actually finish with a losing record, and that was far from the truth, even though they lost in their away games. Also, the Tigers actually managed to jump the Guardians. The Guardians were considered one of the Twins' main contenders, but everyone else finished with a losing record. 78-84 for the Tigers, 76-86 for the Guardians, 61-101 for the White Sox, 56-106 for the Royals. And with the Athletics going 50-112, that meant that they were in the American League 3 teams that all finished on losing over 100 games. Angels were 73-89. They were considered a playoff contender for most of the year, most of the first half of the year, and then they collapsed late season. That's how the Mariners almost were able to rise to power, but they fell short. As far as the AL East, the Yankees were 82-80, Red Sox were 78-84. I thought that was going to be the Red Sox who were in the Yankees position and the Yankees in the Red Sox position, but the Yankees did enough to not have their first losing season since 1992, and the Red Sox just had, again, another losing season. However, the Yankees were not close to making the postseason. It was not one of those years where, like in the National League, where 82-80 and you were somewhat close to making the playoffs. That was not the case this year. As you can see, 88-74, and it was still a postseason miss for the Mariners. The American League was much more competitive than the National League this year. That being said, there were only 8 teams with winning records because the only 2 teams that missed the postseason who had winning records were the Mariners and the Yankees. Again, 4 out of the 5 AL Central teams all having losing records did significantly contribute to that. No team finished 81-81 this year, though again, they really could have come close. Yankees are actually a bad example of what I'm trying to prove here, and so are the Reds because the Reds just choked late season. Padres, I think, are going to be the example I'm going to use here. See, the Padres beat the White Sox 2-1 in extra innings. It could have very easily have simply been that White Sox maybe they scored 2 here in the bottom of the 10th, or maybe they scored all game, or maybe they were able to respond in the bottom of the 11th and put the Padres at 81-81. They were simply unable to do so. Now we have to go to the MLB playoff bracket, which has finally been set. So the Brewers will be taking on the Diamondbacks at home in Milwaukee. Phillies play the Marlins in Philadelphia. Twins will be playing the Blue Jays in Minnesota. Rays will be playing the Rangers in Tampa. The Orioles will be playing the winner of the of the Rays Rangers. Astros play the winner of the Twins Blue Jays. Braves play the winner of the Phillies Marlins. So that means that either way, the Braves will be taking on a division rival. Whether or not it's Philadelphia or Miami, we don't know. But there's recently been a lot of beef between them. 2020 NLDS, 2022 NLDS for the respective teams. So either way, we're bound to see a divisional rematch that's happened in the recent memory. And Dodgers play the winner of the Diamondbacks Brewers. Again, division rivals between the Diamondbacks and Dodgers, and for the Brewers and Dodgers has been a growing animosity because of their recent postseason matchups. Now we can look at favorite to win Rays versus Rangers. And looking at the betting market, we're actually seeing the Rangers being favorites to wait, what the hell? This is from a game earlier on. Okay, so they aren't actually making predictions. There's this article I found, and it's um, behind a paywall. Okay, so we're going to be looking at Rays versus Rangers 2023 to kind of get to the bottom of this. And okay, so looking at the head-to-head records, in 2023, the Rays actually went 2-4 against the Rangers, but they're playing at home. So now we have to look at how much of a home field advantage these teams have. And looking at it, Rays were 53-28 at home, 46-35 on the road. Rangers were 50-31 at home, 40-41 on the road. So the Rangers had a significant home field advantage, and now they're losing it. Rays also have a home field advantage, but it's not as significant as it is for the Rangers. So I'm more concerned about the fact that the Rangers lost more than half their games on the road. Looking at the Twins versus Blue Jays, in 2023 they split 3-3. Again, I don't know who would actually win that tiebreaker. I think that, but it's not actually really important. What's important is now looking at the home field stuff, and the Blue Jays actually performed better this year when they were away, 43-38 versus 46-35. Twins, though, have a significant home field advantage, 47-34 and 40-41. So even though the Blue Jays do better on the road, the Twins have a significant home field advantage, and that's going to be difficult for them. Looking at Diamondbacks versus Brewers, not Phillies, but Brewers. Again, back to our championship chump source. And throughout 2023, Diamondbacks went 4-2 against the Brewers. But again, now we got to look at home field advantage stuff for the National League. And looking at it, Brewers are 49-32 at home, 43-38 on the road. Diamondbacks are 43-38 at home, 41-40 on the road. So Diamondbacks have a slight home field advantage, but the Brewers, it's more significant. I'm not going to – it's hard to say if it's insurmountable against the Diamondbacks having a better record against them. But, again, not comforting news for them. And then Marlins versus Phillies. And this is going to be, with it being division rivalry, it's going to have the best, most reliable record because it'll give us 13 games to look at. And in this case, Marlins win 7-6 in the regular series. Again, now though, what we gotta do is look at their home field advantage records. Phillies are 49-32 on the road at home and 41-40 on the road. Marlins are 46-35 on the road, 38-42 away. So significant home field advantage for both teams. I think the Phillies are escaping this one.